I'm going to relate to you a personal experience I have had concerning a demonic possession with someone I saw in a church. But this is an article having to do with what a prominent psychiatrist says: genuine victims of demonic possession who seek exorcism should not be ignored. Now, a few years ago, when my children were quite small, we had a summer vacation in the island of Cephalonia. Now, all of you who have read Captain Corelli's Mandolin know of the island of Cephalonia. There was also a movie made of Captain Corelli's Mandolin with Penelope Cruz. There is a saint, a very well-known saint there, Saint Gerasimos of Cephalonia, and I went to his church where his holy relics are with my mother-in-law. She asked me to take her to a Vespers there, the evening prayers. Very few people. It was summertime, and we sat at the back of the area where there was a hole going to the underground cell that he had dug out from the earth, into the earth. 2 little rooms, and you go in there, and that's where he slept. Now, anyway, not to take away from what I viewed, what I witnessed, I was sitting with my mother-in-law, and behind us was a man. Next to him was a younger man, about 30 years old or so. I swear to God, I will never forget his face. Half his face was the face of a donkey, and the other half of the face was trying to turn into the face of a man. This is the first time I had ever seen such a head on a human. He was making very strange noises that were not human-like. They were basically animal noise, and this was all going on as we were listening to the Vesper prayers. The man that was next to him was very happily singing hymns, ignoring the young man, the younger man, who was obviously, he was like as if he was in pain. And my mother-in-law and I were just petrified in our seats. And at the end of the Vespers, the young man got up and went towards, he started trying to speak, and he was saying, "Ma, ma, ma." He sounded like a sheep, but he was trying to say mama, mother in Greek. So he went to the door of the Holy of Holies of Archangel Michael, which is on the left-hand side of the Holy Gate, and that's where the priest came out and his mother was there, and the priest started reading exorcism prayers over him. Now, the man that was happily singing the verses said to us in Greek, "You think he's bad? He's nice, he's all right now compared to what he was a little while ago." He said, "My daughter," he says, "we came from Athens and we're living here now, and my daughter was so demonic possessed that they had to tie her up with 10 chains, and she was still breaking them. She was so demonic possessed." And she says, the only way we got her cured is by coming here and having the priest read exorcism prayers over her. And the prayers of Saint Gerasimos of Cephalonia. And she then got married. We're living here in the valley, and we sold everything in Athens. We moved here to be close to the church and to Saint Gerasimos' church. And she's married since then, and she has 2 children. And, we're in the Christian sacraments and the Christian Orthodox sacraments, and she's fine. But that is my experience of what I saw, and I will never forget that. And I'm telling you this because this is the reason why Christ came to us and gave us his spiritual weapons to use, because of the fact that we can protect ourselves from satanic curses and satanic and demonic possessions. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in them, but they do exist. Now, going to this, the prominent psychiatrist says genuine victims of demonic possession who seek exorcism should not be ignored. Dr. Gallagher says the prominent psychiatrist dealing with the world beyond is saying that not only is demonic possession very real, the victims of possession should not be brushed aside, the number of people looking for an exorcism has risen in recent years, putting more of a demand on priests and psychiatrists attempting to help them. The number of people seeking exorcisms has risen worldwide, and it is not just psychiatrists taking notice. The Vatican even recently completed training for exorcists amid the rise in what some believe to be demonic possession. But whether an outsider believes in possession or not, many do believe they need to be delivered from the demons inside them, making it very real for the victim of possession. In April, at the Vatican training course for exorcist priests, participants were told that the demand for exorcism is booming as a result of the decline in Christian faith and the internet providing easy access to black magic, occult, and Satanism. With 25 years' experience in a private psychiatric practice and as a professor at New York Medical College and Columbia University, Dr. Richard Gallagher has a rare vantage point to observe human behavior, and then there is the inhuman behavior. As a sought-after psychiatrist in cases of demonic possession, Gallagher said the initial step in determining the need for exorcism is discernment. Dr. Gallagher has evaluated hundreds of cases of possible possession, and in a wide-ranging and rare interview with the Telegraph of UK, explains why he believes, as does the Catholic Church, that the phenomenon is genuine. It's the U.S. alone. In the U.S. alone, the number of priest exorcists has increased from 12 to 50 over the past decade. While demand for exorcism continues to surge, Dr. Gallagher's medical assistance of whether a person is mentally ill or possessed by demons will help determine whether an exorcism should be conducted. Describing the rite of exorcism as a delicate and necessary ministry, the Pope admonished the exorcist priests thus be selected with great care and great prudence. Although there are many others who evaluate victims for possible mental illnesses and possessions, Dr. Gallagher is one of the few psychiatrists who is willing to even talk about demonic possession. He has also written a forthcoming book on the subject, being published by HarperCollins, called Demonic Foes. A psychiatrist investigates demonic possession in the modern United States. There are many other psychiatrists and mental health care professionals who do what I do, perhaps not to the scope that I do, but who seem hesitant to speak out, he said. That's what gives my work some singularity, that I have had so much experience and that I'm willing to speak out. I feel an obligation to speak out. I think that I should, Dr. Gallagher said. Gallagher also noted that of the cases referred to him for possible possession, they are people who suffer tremendously, he said. There is very strict criteria for determining the person's problem. I am not just insinuating, I'm dealing with it from a very specific point of view, he said. There are cases of spirit possession in pretty much every culture, he said. Dr. Gallagher has directly observed 100 full-blown possessions over the past 25 years. He has attended a few hundred other exorcisms as an observer, none of whom were his patients. He only attends exorcisms where the team knows what they're doing, he said, and that includes proper restraint of the victim to prevent that person from trying to run away or attack the exorcist. In the United States, the victim must sign a legal form indicating that they have agreed to the ritual. According to Dr. Gallagher, when the demonic is accessed, the demon is in control and would do all sorts of things if not restrained. Dr. Gallagher also says that demons have been observing human beings since the beginning of time. He says they're demons, very, very smart. The intelligence level of a fallen angel, which is what I call them, is far superior to human beings, which is why they denigrate human beings. They sometimes call us monkeys, he says. And this is from Solask, from Max Slavo SHTF Plan. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box